Look, there's nothing that annoys me more. There's very few things that annoy me more than someone who aligns themselves with any political party. I don't care what party it is, right? I'm to say I'm a this, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. Hell, even if you say you're a libertarian, okay, whatever it is, I despise the idea. I don't despise the people, but I despise the idea that you're aligned with a political party. I just can't stand that. I can't. That is the ultra level of authoritarianism. I mean, you can't, like, this whole idea that you're backing a team. Look at me, I back a team. Look at me, I'm a Democrat. I support Democrats all day, every day. So what if tomorrow political parties do dramatic changes in just a decade? I mean, the amount of changes that a political party can have, right, change from year to year. I mean, it's not like, this idea that these political parties know what's good for you, when in all reality, political parties, right, it's all strategic, right, with the times. They don't change the times, and that's I don't think people understand that, right? They change with the times. They don't change the times. Do you understand what I mean by that? Meaning, if the Democratic Party, right, if you go back to, like, let's say the 1920s or so, 1930s, especially in the South, they were the racist party. And the reality is, a political party shifts and changes depending on what voting bloc is going to get them elected. That's what a political party does. And until you understand that, right, you're going to continue aligning yourself with a political party. And the same goes to the Republican Party, right? The Republican Party is no longer the party of Lincoln. Okay, shit has shifted dramatically, especially since the days of Lincoln, right? Especially since the Southern strategy. A lot of things changed. They didn't do the Southern strategy because they're evil and they're more evil than the Democrats. No, they did it. It was strategic for the voting bloc. That's what it was for, right? Now listen. The reason I came on here, look, I've already done my videos telling you my stand on Donald Trump. Everybody knows I don't like Donald Trump, right? He will be disastrous as the president. But make no mistake about it, right? And when I do those videos, for some reason, Donald Trump fans get the idea that I'm this Hillary Clinton supporter. And maybe it's because they run into a lot of these Hillary Clinton supporters that I ran into. I am far from a Hillary Clinton supporter, right? And for anyone to argue that this is not yet another election about the lesser two evils, right, you're dumb if you don't think that's the case. If you don't believe that the two-party system has yet again, it's about the lesser two evils. I don't care what charades, what I don't care what theatrics they're putting on, what show they're putting on for you. It's still something being decided, and it's come down to the lesser two evils. No matter what, right? I don't care what label a candidate was. If another candidate had a pretty good chance of winning, and I felt was better than Hillary Clinton, I don't care if they had an R next to them because they're Republican, I would vote for that person. But let me tell you something right now. Hillary Clinton, right, has a lot of skeletons in her closets, right? And no, it's not even the ones that Republicans attack her for. This is what a lot of you Hillary Clinton supporters don't understand. A lot of you Democrats don't understand, right? See, you guys are stuck in this world where everything is Democrats are the white and shine armor, and Republicans are this evil, dark, kind of Lord of the Ring-ish, world. You're stuck in that world. Everything good is fighting evil, and you're in the side of good. It's a stupid world to be stuck in. And you need to slap yourself and get yourself out of that world. But that's not, the world's more complicated than that. All right? That's not the way the world works. All right? That's not the way the world works. You know, a lot of these Hillary Clinton supporters, they go out of their way to say things. They're quick to point at the faults of Jill Stein. Look at her. She's not a perfect candidate. Look at what she said here and here. Gary Johnson, look at what he said. He's not qualified either. First to point out, oh, a vote for Gary Johnson is a vote for Donald Trump. How do you know? How do you know that the person voted for Gary Johnson would have voted for Hillary, not Trump? How do you know that? That's an arrogant thing to say. How do you know that the person voted for Jill Stein would vote for Hillary over Donald Trump? How do you know that? You guys are so stupid. You don't even realize that Donald Trump is actually to the left of Hillary on some issues. He's actually to the left of her. And he's said things, and I'm not talking like 30 years ago. I'm talking in the last decade, in his adult life. He has said very, very progressive things. Now, he no longer admits these things, especially since he's running as a Republican, but he has said very progressive things. Far more progressive than Hillary has ever said, even in the open. Hillary Clinton, okay, is an opportunist. And anybody who doesn't see that, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I don't know, like, how do you want me to lay it out for you? Want me to lay it out for you? We don't even know how she really feels about certain things. Like she says, she's against TPP, right? Now, words are just hilarious because before you found out she was against TPP, you guys were arguing for TPP. And then she comes out and says, no, I'm against TPP. And all of a sudden, you guys are against TPP too. That is the ultimate form of authoritarianism, right? You see it with Democrats too, not just Republicans. Okay, they're both drinking the fucking juice. Both stuck in his game. They're both stuck in the game. That's all it is, okay? Both sides are contributing to this two-party system. Someone should vote for a president, right, based on who they believe is the most qualified for that position. You don't vote against somebody. That's the way it should work. But every damn 4 years, they pull it off and they make it about the lesser two evils. Every 4 years. Now, the problem is that a lot of these Hillary Clinton supporters, and look, Trump supporters too, but I've already talked a lot about Trump. It's about Hillary supporters, right? The problem with Hillary Clinton supporters, okay, is that they don't even admit obvious things, right? Like when Bernie Sanders was saying, right, hey, Hillary, why don't you voluntarily just release the transcripts from your speeches to your wealthy donors? You know, what are you hiding? Like, what are you hiding? Now, anybody with a brain already knew what she was hiding. We didn't need WikiLeaks to tell us what she was hiding. She's one person in public and another person in private. I mean, this is the most obvious thing ever, right? This is the problem that a lot of progressives have with Obama as well, right? My problem with Hillary isn't shit like Benghazi, okay? Look, was Benghazi terrible and all that? Yes, but look, Republicans cut the funding for security there, so you can say what you want. It was a terrible situation, but Republicans talk as if Hillary was just sitting behind a desk and laughing and I'm going to let the ambassador die. Like, that's not what happened. Okay. So anyone who believes that is an idiot. So, and they had nothing to say about all the embassies attacked under Reagan, the ambassadors killed under George Bush. It just became an issue when it happened under Obama, under Hillary's watch, when they knew Hillary was going to run for president in 2016. It was something political pressed by the Republicans, right? But that's Benghazi is nothing. Even if it were true, it's nothing compared to some of her real crimes. Her pushing, to topple dictators and just contributing, along with the two parties here, contributing to this chaos that we're seeing in the Middle East. Clinton types, these corporate, Democrats who are Republican light in many ways, right? See, what you guys need to understand is these corporate type candidates, they're not, they're not real conservatives. They're not real progressives. Okay, what they are shields for their donors. That's what they are, right? Under these Republicans we have today, under these Democrats we have today, what has happened? Income inequality has gotten worse, right? It's only gotten worse. It hasn't gotten better under Obama. It's gotten worse. He expanded the Bush tax cuts. So what can you explain to me what he's doing so much differently? Now, I'm not against everything he's done, but I'm just saying, when you look at the big picture, and the problem isn't, hey, well, at least the other side wants to do the reverse. No, they want to do more of the shit that doesn't work. That's the problem, right? It's like you're picking between a slow death or a quick, swift death, right? That's really what you're picking here, all right? So, people wonder, well, all these Clinton supporters, they're so baffled at the fact that Donald Trump, an imbecile that doesn't know anything about policy, it's like head to head with her in this election. And you wonder why. Like they're so shocked. They don't understand. Do you or do you not understand that there's people out there, right, that just want to stick it to the establishment? Do you not understand that they want the establishment to feel like losers, right? They want them to lose. They want to, in some way, shape, or form, they want to throw a monkey wrench at the establishment. Right? I'll tell you something. I believe Hillary's going to win this election. But I don't think she's going to be reelected in 2020. I don't. In fact, I think she's going to get defeated soundly in 2020. Soundly. I don't even think it's going to be close. Because let me tell you something. If you get a candidate who could get on the debate stage, it'll likely be a Republican that has some of the messaging of Donald Trump that works. Anti-establishment, right? And breaking up the banks and well, I don't know. Trump didn't really push that, but you know what I mean. Anti-trade deals, anti-TPP, anti-NAFTA, all those things that work and many progressives agree with, right? And that it's actually the right position. Right? If you could get someone with those positions, but that is not a hypocrite, that doesn't have companies overseas, that didn't hire illegal immigrants himself, right? That doesn't scandals that Donald Trump has. You get a scandal-free politician with that message. It's over. I mean, there's no other way around it. And I'm pretty convinced if Obama doesn't get it through, Hillary Clinton's going to get TPP through. I'm convinced of it. And she's going to do it like the Republicans want it too. All right? So it's going to be interesting. So, and it could go both ways. We're either going to go, by 2020, either this country's going to go even more far right, or a progressive's going to rise. Right? A real progressive candidate. Now, we may have to wait even longer for that. Right? Because the Democrats are considered the left wing. Right? I know a lot of progressives myself, right, that are voting for Trump. Now, they're not voting for Trump because they like Trump. They're not voting him because they think he's qualified. But they believe that none of these two candidates are going to win in 2020. All right? They're just not. no matter who wins. And they believe that a failure of Donald Trump in those 4 years, right, that a real progressive can rise on the left, something like a younger version of a Bernie Sanders, right? And long term, it would be better. That's the idea, right? I don't know about that, but that's the idea, right? So it's 2020 is going to be interesting. It just is, right? Like, you don't understand how many people just feel disenfranchised, how many people are just upset with life, all right? How many people are just angry, and they're angry at the establishment. And you know what? They have a right to be. I mean, do you understand how many people work a full-time job, 40 hours plus a week? Some people have an extra job, a part-time job on the side, and they still can't make ends meet. They still can't pay the bills. That's not a good feeling, okay? It just isn't. So you need to understand that's a problem. And this is not, by the way, this has been an ongoing issue. Just ongoing, right? Past generations have done a disservice to our future generations, and, look, I posted on because on Facebook, I follow right-wing and left-wing kind of like feeds. You know what I mean? And the reason I do that is it's fascinating to see how biased they are, right, on each end. But at least you get like both sides, kind of. Like, you get the biased version on both sides, but then from there you kind of draw your own conclusion, right? And I saw, this post of Bill Maher arguing that the lesser two evil argument is bullshit, that Hillary's a phenomenal candidate. Like, she's just amazing. She's the best possible. And we should be, on our knees praising the Lord, right? That, of course I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean, right? That Hillary Clinton graces with her presence to run for president. Well, if that were true, she would be destroying Donald Trump right now in the polls. That's number one, right? People are tired of being lied to, right? They're tired of it. Okay, they're tired of hearing something about change and they're not getting the change. Okay, they're tired of hearing about revolution and a revolution not happening, a political one, right? They're tired of every 4 years being promised the world and then not getting it, right? They're just tired of it, and at some point something's gonna break, right? At some point. You could only hang on for so long. I had a Hillary Clinton, because I put in the comment section, I put, hey, look, I mean, stop being ridiculous, guys. I mean, come on. Some of you Democrats, like you act like these, progressives, but in all reality, you're just chills for Hillary Clinton. Whatever Hillary Clinton says, you agree with, no matter what she says, right? And somebody responded to me. They're like, no. Things aren't that bad. This is a disgrace that people are saying this is the lesser two evils. And look, listen to me, right? I let that guy have it, right? I let him have it bad, okay? How can you say you're a progressive, say you're voting for Hillary because you're a progressive, yet be for war, yet be for the expansion of what we're seeing here? More tax cuts for the rich. See, how can you be for more tax, loopholes? How can you possibly, right, be for the military-industrial complex? Something that Hillary doesn't have the courage to address. How can you possibly say, and they excuse it. How do they excuse it? Well, like all authoritarians do, right? Well, she's saying what she has to say to be elected, but we really know in our hearts that she's going to do the right thing, right? Okay. I mean, there's not much of a difference in some stances here, right? The rhetoric is really the difference. One candidate's for a wall, the other one's for a barrier. Not much of a difference, really. I mean, what's the difference, right? Donald Trump says he's going to deport all illegals and he's going to separate all these families, and progressives are, that are backing Hillary are so like, oh my God, you can't do that. I mean, Obama's doing it right now. How many families, how many people Obama has deported? Now, I'm not going to sit here and argue the point of should he have done it, should he have not have done it. What I'm saying is they're doing the same thing. One's saying he's threatening to do more of it. The other one's already doing it. That's it. One is just not impressed and wants to do it even more, right? We're already bombing people on the other side of the world. The other candidate is just saying it's going to target families and civilians too, to show them how powerful and how tough we are. We're not showing true toughness. We're being too weak. It's just one side is being more bravado about it, right? But it's still the same thing. It's just one is worse, in my opinion. I mean, do you guys really believe what you're being told on TV about Syria? Like, do you really believe that? Like, do you believe we're in Syria to do the right thing and because we're so concerned about the people of Syria? You don't think it has anything to do with oil whatsoever? Nothing. And nothing to do with oil. There's no pipeline just trying to build there, nothing like that. I mean, how long are we going to be playing the mercenaries for the Saudis? For how long are we going to be doing this? And somebody explain this to me. How can it be for Hillary, who is in bed with the Saudis, right? And look, both parties are. I mean, we're honest, but if you're a real progressive and you really care about human rights, why don't you take a look at what some of these countries that we're in bed with are doing? We can't say, we're going after Assad, like we were saying, right? Yet what we're doing is helping a group like ISIS, right? And we can't, just condemn one dictator for doing something while we're palling up with another group of dictators. Then, just because they give us oil, we're down with them. Isn't it astonishing that the dictators that don't want to share their oil with us just end up getting toppled? But the dictators that do even more gruesome shit than the dictators we topple, right? I mean, you have in some of these countries that we back, if somebody says they're an atheist, they get beheaded. If somebody puts an article that's, anti the dictator, he disappears. But we're cool with them and we welcome them to the White House and everything. And when 9/11 happens, we just let them get out of here. Okay? Wink, wink. So we do have a problem, right? A problem. This is not the answer, okay? Like, at some point, the establishment's going to fall. At least, in the presidential election, it's going to fall, right? In this case, the other guy just has way too many scandals, and I just believe he's a fucking liar. He's just saying that he knows this, and he's just saying what people want to hear. That's all it is. So look, to all Hillary Clinton supporters, right, that believe she's the highest standard of integrity and the best presidential candidate in history, the most qualified, and this, that, and the third, please know, right, that a lot of the crimes we're committing around the world will continue. Please know that a lot of the problems we're having socially are not going to get fixed. Just know that. Nothing's going to change. All right? And the banks are going to get more powerful, right? We're not going to break up the big banks. I mean, this is how bad it is, right? Bernie Sanders endorsed Hillary, right? Who, if we're honest, just endorsed her because he doesn't want Donald Trump to be elected. Yet, in the same breath, Bernie Sanders over there giving speeches about the Dakota pipeline, right? What they're doing to the Native Americans over there. Hillary doesn't have the balls, well, you know what I mean, metaphor, right? To even address that. She won't even address that. You know, that's insane. Also, you have someone who endorsed her, and Bernie Sanders, saying, "Hey, these corporate lobbyists you have, you know, I don't really support these corporate lobbyists you have. You know, I'm going to be fighting them a lot in Capitol Hill." Okay, that's as a senator. That's saying a lot. Like, you know, you need to understand that, right? Do you know how many um, how many corporations, how many people from corporations were put in the administration of Obama's administration in his cabinet? So is it a shocker that we bailed out Wall Street? No, of course it's not, right? Of course it isn't, right? And I don't care who the president is, right? At some point, if they got big donations from Wall Street, they're going to bail out Wall Street. It's just the way it is. George Bush did it. Obama did it, right? They would all do it, right? It's just the way it is. So what do we have to do? We need to get money out of politics, right? That's number one. And we need to just, you know, fix this whole system. 2020 is going to be the year. It's going to be a year to be reckoned with. It really is. And honestly, it's going to dictate where the country's going to be headed for the next maybe half a century. It really is, right? And it can go towards a good revolution that could do good for all of us, or it can go, or someone can take advantage of that situation and put us in even a worse situation, right? So that's the problem. A lot of these, whenever things are bad, you have a lot of false prophets. I believe the one running the Republican ticket is one right now, right? I honestly do. You know, people that just want to take advantage of a bad situation to help themselves. That's really what it is. So, and then you have real revolutionaries. So we'll see how it goes, right? We really would. Now, if it was up to me, I mean, once Hillary wins, she would just transform herself and do the right thing, and you know, pass Glass-Steagall or something even more strict than that. All right, you know, break up the big banks so we don't end up with another big fucking crash and all that. But I'm not going to hold my breath. It's not going to happen. It will not happen, folks. She will not do it. Right? She won't. But she's going to look after the people that looked after her. Okay, that got her what she wants, and that's she wants to become president. Right? It's an ego thing. She just wants to do it just to say that she did it. That's really all it is. Right? So, anyway, okay, the most hilarious thing I've ever seen a Hillary supporter say, okay, read it earlier, and I said, and it said something like, yes, we have a lot of problems, but Hillary's the solution we've been waiting for. Oh, really? No way. I just don't get it. You know, I just don't get it. You know, how could he possibly, you know, believe someone that says one thing indoors, right, and it's something out in the open? You know, it's like if you have a friend, right, and this friend, when he's with you, right, man, you guys have a great time, blah, 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 no issues, right? But then everybody keeps telling you, man, like he's talking shit about you behind your back, you know, and he's just like, I don't know. But then you don't know what to believe. But then you get somebody records it for you. Like, look, I'm going to record it when he's talking shit about you, and I'm going to let you hear it, right? You know, and then like you hear it yourself. Oh, yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit. He's a fucking moron, this, that, and third. And then you still don't believe it. Like, he's just saying that. That's how he is, you know. He says what he needs to say to them, but to us, to me, he tells me the truth. Well, you know, right? I guess so. I guess, right? I guess. I really do. Somebody asked me, hey, Hillary versus Romney, who wins? I think Romney destroys her, to be honest. Um, I honestly think Romney would have destroyed her. You know, there's a reason, even with all the backing she had in 2008, that she ultimately lost, right? I mean, she was the anointed one. She was projected to win, right? Thought she was going to be the next president and everything. And Obama, who at this point, nobody even thought about a first black president. Nobody really thought about, you know, um, this first term senator, really making noise. Really, they thought he was just gonna like run for president and make a name for himself. They weren't really taking him that serious. And then he won Iowa, and it kind of just, they were like, whoa, maybe he could win, and it just kind of turned things around there. But she couldn't quite close the deal, right? Because she can't connect with people, right? And what's funny is it's kind of like she took a lot of things that didn't work, and she kind of worked on them for 2016. So what she really is, it's just she tries to be like a chameleon. She looks at the polling, she looks what's popular, what's not popular, right? And she takes her position. Like for example, everybody disagrees or agrees about gay marriage, all that, right? Whatever. But I think anyone would appreciate the honest answer from an individual, right? So Hillary was against gay marriage, when most of the country was against it. Once most of the country was for it, all of a sudden, everybody always talks about Donald Trump changing his positions dramatically just 4 years ago, right? And it's true, it's ridiculous. But Hillary's done it too. How are you against that all your life, and then, in your late 50s, early 60s actually, all of a sudden you have a change of heart and you're for it? That's kind of strange. And it's not the only thing, right? How are you for these trade policies your whole life, and all of a sudden you're not for TPP? It's just, you can't go from the golden standard to, I'm against it. Just because polling shows or any, trade deal, a lot of Americans see that as a negative thing. They both flip-flop. Both of them do it. I just think Donald Trumps are just a little less clever and a little funnier, because I never seen someone go from, I am pro-choice over under all circumstances, even pre-birth, like, no matter what. And he went from that to, when he decided to run for president, all of a sudden he's pro-life, like no matter what, at the moment of conception, he's pro-life. I just said that is a traumatic shift. Like, I never seen an individual have that much of a dramatic shift. Maybe when they're younger or something, but this is a grown-ass man, So anyway, I think I will say that even if Trump wins or Hillary wins, we're still going to have a lot of the same problems. But they're both, no matter who wins, they're going to be a sitting duck in 2020. They really are. We're seeing it now, and it's amazing how much social media changed things even since 2012. Just imagine how things are going to be in 2020. It's going to be a whole new world then. It really is. If it was up to me, they would allow at least 4 political candidates on the debate stage. I don't believe in the 15% polling mark. That's something they put in place to hold a third party candidate down, right? I don't like that. I think anyone who is in enough states where, technically speaking, if you were to win those states, you can win the election, should be in the debate stage, and the American people should hear from them. That's my opinion. So in this case, Gary Johnson, Jill Stein should have been in the debate stage, right? They didn't allow them, and we got to get out of this two-party system slump. We got to get out of the mentality, and we need more and more people as possible to get out of political parties. Stop saying you're a Democrat. Stop saying you're a Republican. Get out of that mindset, right? Just get out of it. You need to get out of it. It sound like, could you just imagine being like, I'm pro Walmart. Yeah, go Walmart, baby. Like, I only shop at Walmart. Hey, but I heard that Target's selling that same shit and it's cheaper. No. Walmart's where it's at. No, but seriously, like, if you shop around, Target has the shit cheaper. Right? No, I'm Walmart all day, every day. I'm team Walmart. That's how you sound, like when you pick a political party. Like, it's just stupid. So like whatever platform, the political party, right, puts together, like, you're telling me that you're going to agree with every single thing on that platform? That's ridiculous. That's stupid, right? Like, no large group of people, like in the millions, are going to agree on every little thing. It's not possible, right? It's just not. Okay, so anyway, I'm out.